Hey everybody, it's Catherine from Dryer Days Art Studio. Thank you so much for being here today. In this video, we're going to work on this 12-inch by 12-inch black, white, and silver resin geode. This was a lot of fun to make. I haven't done a resin geode in a while, and I actually was going to put this together as part of an e-course that I wanted to make. I had an e-course on geodes a little while back. People really liked it. I had to pull it down because I was using another company's products, and I've been trying to work on another e-course, but just haven't had the time. And so I was going to put this in the e-course, but I decided to bring it to you guys. And there is going to be a video with a bunch of extra bonus content for my patrons over on patreon.com/dryerdays. Thank you guys so much for your support. You make it possible for me to keep this channel going and keep my store going. And I just love you guys so much. Thank you. So here you see I am applying some of my Celestial Fire Glass, and everything that I use will be linked down in the video's description. I first started with laying in some of the silver mine and silver diggings from my store. Those are the small silver stones that you see there. The silver mine is a little bit bigger than the silver diggings, and if you watch any of my other videos with geodes and stuff, I like to really kind of have chunky pieces in the middle like this fire glass and then kind of like cascade out. I think it gives a little bit more of a natural look, and I'm all about blending my sections, and so you can find that silver mine and silver diggings in my store. I have a gold version as well with gold mine and gold cuttings. Really pretty stones, and they just are fabulous in these geodes, and they're small enough too that you can actually use them in your coaster work. So just really going around here, moving around my fire glass, and I'm going to keep doing that here for the next couple minutes. All right, next here we're going to use some silver mirrored glass that I got at Michael's. Again, everything will be listed. So I had originally put that fire glass up against that other little barrier there. Decided I didn't like it, so I used a dry brush to move it down on this part here on the other side of my Celestial Fire Glass. You can see there to the left, I've started pulling together my pigments and glitters and things that I think I'm going to want to use in this piece. I knew that I wanted this to be very, very clean, basic colors with black, silver, a little bit of gray, and white in there. So those are the colors that I've picked over to the side, and I'm just making sure my piece looks level before I keep moving along here. You can see there, it is nice and level. I do have everything taped off. Again, kind of these extra little detail things that really help in your construction, your prep work of your geodes is going to be over on my Patreon for my patrons. And the people in the $5 tier and up are the ones that qualify for that bonus content. So I'm just taking some clear here and drizzling over all of this. I did not glue any of this down. I usually do that. I usually come in with glue. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, this one did not have any glue at all. So I'm just going to take some clear resin here and just really drizzle it over everything. Paying close attention to really get it around the sides and the corners so that those large pieces of glass glitter are kind of sticking to the piece and aren't going to go anywhere. Especially, when we come in with a heat gun or anything that's going to be blowing air, you'll see a lot of these pieces go flying. So just trying to get a nice coverage here. Okay, laying in a little bit of clear here and adjusting some of the little silver diggings that are coming off of. That's what I mean. That's why sometimes I will glue stuff down because I don't want it to move too much, but I really thought that this was a pretty look that we were getting where the clear resin was laying there and these little pieces of diggings were coming down and really giving us some depth, almost a layering effect. And here I'm using some of the white mica pigment in this area here, mixed with resin, of course. Going to try and keep with the same colors as I go. So the corner pieces there up on the edges are going to be black, kind of going into a gray, into a silver, into the white here, and then again kind of gray, into a lighter gray, and then our stones. So I do like to keep kind of a cohesiveness. I think that's important. That's just sort of my style, my look. Everybody has a different style and a different look. That's what makes us all amazing artists. So that's just something that I kind of like to do. When I look at my pieces, I like it to sort of have this cohesive, balanced look. So here we have the black color cream pigment paste from my Color Joy line mixed with resin. We're going to add that to these two corners, as I said before. Beautiful, opaque, matte black. Gorgeous. And this is going to be some of the gray matte color cream pigment paste from the Color Joy line mixed with resin. Again, keeping with that cohesiveness, kind of applying it to the same spots. Oop, and see, then we got a little drip there. And it's okay, just stay calm. I know when I make these mistakes, sometimes I get a little edgy, but that's the beauty about fluid work too. Sometimes it can be scary, but we can also fix things pretty easily as well. Doing a little more clear there. I'd like to make sure I do keep a lot of clear out kind of in a separate cup for blending, for pushing pigments a certain way, for helping to smooth out mistakes that we have. It's really nice to have some extra clear on hand. So I always make sure I set some aside and don't have it mixed with pigmented resin. This right here is some of the black glitter. You can see it in the cup there, but I wanted to sort of drizzle some of that over the black matte just to give us a little bit of sparkle. More of the gray matte pigment paste. Again, mixed with resin. And a little of the beautiful dark steel pigment paste from the Color Joy line. This is a beautiful color, really dark gray. Again, keeping that balance, giving a little bit of a low light there, and using my heat gun to pop bubbles. Of course, we can use a torch on this because there isn't any silicone, we're not using molds, but I am going to use my heat gun for a lot of this work. I like to use a heat gun too, just to help marry the colors together, really get things moving around. And of course, a gloved finger too can really help marry your colors together and move things. And see how beautiful with our clear resin there, how it's nice to just have some clear sometimes. And actually the resin I was using for this was starting to seize up on me. It was starting to overheat. You'll have that sometimes. You'll have that if, you know, for example, I like to keep my room pretty warm because I like my resin to be in that 70 to 75 degree temperature. And this the room was very hot. You can see how it's getting sticky there. Really quickly. We have hardly been working, not even 15 minutes, and it's already starting to seize up. So I do actually pause here. I'm going to make some other resin. You can see how I had a strip there, yep, of the black because it was seizing up so much and getting so stringy. So I'm going to mix up some more resin here and then we're going to continue. But this is a good kind of teachable moment, I guess. Oh, and there's some of my silver metallic. So I had this mixed up and I was afraid this was going to start seizing up. So I wanted to get that down pretty quick because I had already mixed this up. So I did lose probably about 3 ounces with it seizing up because it was just simply too hot. You want to have solvent resistant products, okay, when you're working with resin. And so everything that I carry in my store, from the glitter to the pigments to the stones to the leaf, everything in my store is solvent resistant because we are mixing it with resin. Not everything is solvent resistant. Sometimes things will bleed, glass glitter, other items, but a majority of the time these things are solvent resistant, but it is usually operator error. So like right here too, I'm putting down some silver glitter that I wanted to get down before we really seized up. So for example, with me getting my resin just a little too warm, I had it right in front of my space heater for probably way too long while I was working on other projects. It was way too warm when I mixed it. I could already tell. I was hoping it wouldn't seize up because as we're mixing it, you know, there's nothing we can do. We can't put it back in the bottle once we've mixed it together, and I didn't want to lose it, but I got down as much as I could. And now that my room has cooled down a little bit and I don't have the resin in front of my space heater anymore, I'm going to mix up some more resin. And I knew I was going to do a second layer on this too anyway. So you can see just with that heat gun how we're moving the pigments around a little bit that haven't totally seized up yet, and really getting some good movement. But yeah, I mean, you know, if stuff's going on with your resin, if it's getting too hot, if it's overheating, you know, it can mean that it's bad product or it's maybe old. But like I said, usually I find with with me and with other artists I've talked to, it's usually I let things overheat or sit a little too long or even get too cold. Okay, so I decided that I did want to see more balance in this. I did not like how the mirrored glass was kind of just a little bit too small in contrast to the other side with the silver mine and the silver digging. So now I'm just going to come in, I'm going to balance out these sides a little bit better that are on either side of that celestial fire glass. And as you can see there in the fire glass, I did drizzle on some of that silver mirrored glass just to give us a little bit of reflection. Also, that middle section was just really clear, didn't have a whole lot of depth. And now we have a little bit more depth, a little bit more blend. All right, so I am doing a second layer here. Again, I told you guys before that other layer was starting to seize up. So I kind of paused and left things where they were and decided I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna see where everything's sitting and we'll do a second layer. So I am coming through here with some beautiful silver metallic. We're gonna really make this thing a little bit more metallic, a little bit more shiny, sparkly, because we are dealing with black, silver, and white here. And I wanted to have some real pop of that metallic and that beautiful silver shine. So just coming in here, creating some lines, creating some shape. All right, so it's been about 24 hours. I have all my favorite markers here. I like to get them out and have them on my table so that I'm kind of ready to rock and roll. To do a couple of accent lines. I really like this silver glitter pen. It really gives a nice blend between sections. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that. I'm gonna use a really big silver metallic marker to really blend out. I decided those silver mine and silver digging texture areas would look really cool, kind of covered in a silver metallic. So you're gonna see me do that here in a second. And again, I'm gonna link all of this stuff in the video's description. Using beautiful black here. I don't do a whole lot with black lines, but I love it when I have a piece like this and I can add some real depth and lowlights. And again, I like to be consistent, so I add them to both sides. And like I said, I'm going to do a lot of silver work here. I'm going to really speed through it and go quiet for you guys. And I hope you enjoy the end process here. All right, everybody, so I really hope you enjoyed the process of this piece. If you want bonus content, again, consider becoming a patron. All the details are below. I have a lot of bonus content over there, not just from this video, but a lot of other videos over the years. Look at this beautiful sparkle in there. So much dimension. We have several layers going on. It's just stunning. I'm so happy with this. I just love the basic color palette and how beautiful it can look. Look at the sparkle in there. Just stunning. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this piece. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It's free for you and it really helps me out, you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Come find me on Instagram at Drier Days. And until next time, everybody, keep on pouring.